Hey guys, welcome back to more I Don't Work Here Lady stories. You know what time it is, it's time for more Karens, so let's begin. Please update your emergency contact information. I don't work there anymore. Please do not call me if there's an emergency. Years ago, I worked as the administrator for a pair of residential treatment facilities where individuals with long-term mental health issues lived. I was the contact person for a couple city and county agencies, and would occasionally get calls about referrals, changes in parole status for some of my residents, that kind of thing. I left that position in the fall/winter of 2012. Back in 2020 or so, I got a call from one of the partners, and the conversation went like this. "Hello?" I said. "Hello, this is whoever, let's call him B, with such and such agency. Is this OP? Please tell me what this is regarding," I ask. "I'm calling to update and verify our emergency contact information. We have you listed as the contact person for such and such facility. Is that right?" "That's my name, but I haven't worked for that company since 2012. I am not an emergency contact for them anymore, and you will need to remove me from your list. I am not a resource for you or for them." No. Yes, I really did talk like that. 10 years in community mental health and outreach trains you to speak like a computer when necessary, so your conversations stay factual and you don't inadvertently agree to anything. B continues to say, "Well, we need some sort of contact information, and yours is the most up-to-date we have. Please spell your first and last name and your email or mailing address, so our contact information is correct and we..." I interrupt and say, "B, stop right there. I'm not verifying any of my contact information as I am not an employee of the company and cannot be used as a resource. Remove any of my information from your list and call the company directly if you need updated emergency contact information. I don't even know who works at those sites any longer. I've been gone for years." But he responds with, "I need you to help me update your contact information. You're being deliberately unhelpful." Yes. Now imagine how unhelpful I'd be if you called me at 10 p.m. on a Friday night because one of the residents stripped naked and ran down the street, screaming that their dead grandparents were trying to kill them. Additional note, that's a call I actually did get when I was an after-hours contact for these sites. And I continue. "B, again, please remove me from your list of contacts altogether. I no longer work for the company and will not be handling any emergency calls. If you continue to harass me, I'll make my own call to the company and report you for harassment." "Man, I'm just trying to do my job," said B. "Yeah, well, you're also trying to get me to do something that is definitely not my job. Please do not call me for emergencies. Goodbye." I ended the call. And that was that. It really is a bit unnerving knowing that there's workers out there like this that are just so incompetent, especially when it comes to things like this, like updating emergency contacts. That guy really just could not get the hint, could he? It was pretty clear he was just trying to take the easy way out and not do his job. Even after OP told him that they no longer work there, and haven't for 8 years, he still insisted on getting OP's updated information. That would just be a total disaster for an actual emergency situation. Alright, how about more of a I do work here story? No, you cannot get my digits. I graduated college early, and started teaching high school when I had just turned 21. On the first day, as we were instructed to do, I was standing in my classroom doorway helping monitor the halls between classes. A 19-year-old senior spotted me leaning against my doorframe and made his way over to me. Full swagger, charm mode, fully engaged. His winning line was, "Hey girl, let me get your digits." I said, "Sure, 34. He looked confused and said, "34? I said, "Yeah," and pointed to my classroom's room number. "I'm Miss Such and Such, the music teacher. That's my classroom, room 34. Go to class before I mark you tardy." It was an epic jaw-dropper. The other students around busted out laughing and made a scene as only high schoolers can about the sick burn. Needless to say, word spread fast. Don't mess with the new music teacher. She's got jokes. And on the topic of I do work here encounters, here's this one as well. "I am the train operator, sir." Insert obligatory, English not first language, and on mobile. This happened a few months ago during the €9 ticket era. For those of you not familiar with it, here in Germany, we had a ticket valid for all public transportations for 3 months after the gas prices exploded due to the war in the Ukraine. €9 for a month worth of transportation via bus and trains. Needless to say, our trains were up to their limits. This occasion was no different. The train I previously operated was late, due to the amount of passengers at each station, along with technical difficulties. Doors had malfunctions. Our trains have a safety mechanism where we can't take off until the computer received the electric signal that the doors are shut. Easy fix, but doing it at every station due to the people leaning against it sucks. So I was about 5 minutes late for the next trains I had to take over. As I rushed over to get to said train, I noticed it was full to its limits too. The problem now is, we can only get into the operator cabin by going through the passenger cabin. After a long sigh, I pushed the little green button at the door to get in. A wall of passengers greeted me with annoyed and angry looks. The following conversation, not verbatim but close enough, ensued. Note, I was wearing my full uniform along with my orange high-visibility vest. "Excuse me, I need to get in," I said. "Train's full, take the next one," said the angry guy. "No can do. This train isn't going anywhere without me in it." Not getting the hint, he responds, "Train's full, f*** off." "Sir, I mean it. Let me in or this train stays here." Still not getting it and now yelling, he responds, "F*** you, take the next train. This one's full. Now go away before I break your nose." At this point, I looked at him and give him a nod, stepping back from the train and calling my dispatcher. His word, "Well, if you are still there in 30 minutes, I will mark the train as out of service." About 5 more minutes went by with me standing outside the train. Before the door opens, an angry guy looked out, calling for me. Probably because he finally noticed my uniform. I stepped over. "Hey, the operator isn't here. Where is he?" said the angry guy. "Oh, he is here," I said. "Where? The cabin is empty." "I am the operator, sir." "Why the hell didn't you say that?" "Sir, I told you the train isn't going anywhere without me. Plus, after you threatened me, I didn't feel comfortable talking to you anymore. Now, if you would kindly step out along with all the people in front of the cabin doors so I can get in and we can take off, I would appreciate it." He didn't say anything else. He and about 12 other people had to step out. I finally got in and we left the station with a 13-minute delay. To clarify a few things, this wasn't in Berlin. It was in a more rural area here in Germany. It wasn't with the DB, but a smaller company. Was it petty? Yes. Honestly, for 3 months straight, we dealt with all kinds of people, being yelled at constantly. It took a toll on all of us. Was it an asshole move? Maybe. Unprofessional? No. I am not required to tell people who I am. I wore my uniform identifying me as a member of my company. Rules dictate that passengers have to follow orders given by members of staff, be it operators or service members or maintenance staff. Once the threat was spoken, I wasn't required to talk to that guy at all. Did I get in trouble? No. Company is on my side. It's not even the wedding yet, and my wife is kicking people in the face. Alright, so my best friend is finally getting married. As the best man, I am way far behind on things, such as getting my own formal wear tailored, as I've lost a ton of weight over the past year. Also being Valentine's Day, the wife and I decided to go to the appointment at the local shop together, before grabbing some wings and beers for happy hour. As I'm standing in the mini funhouse of mirrors, with what appears to be a 207-year-old Asian lady controlling my every move, only saying no 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 anytime I even shift my weight, I hear a man, roughly 6 foot, 200 pounds, saying "excuse me" over and over again. Assuming he is looking for another member of staff, the 3 of us ignore him entirely. Finally, after the 3rd or 4th "excuse me," the guy screams, "Are you effing deaf?" as he grabs my wife's arm and spins her around violently. Now, my wife is about 5 foot and about 105 pounds. However, being the daughter of a retired United States Air Force colonel and current agent of the Alphabet Gang, and retired Navy lieutenant herself, my wife has years of training in a few schools of martial arts, such as Krav Maga and Taekwondo. As this man spun her around and towered over her, she elbowed him in the diaphragm and firmly but gently pushed him back away from her while stating, "I don't work here, and keep your hands off of me." Having God knows how many needles and such all throughout my inner thigh and nether regions, I wasn't really able to move. So I did the next best thing and attempted to tell the guy to F off and leave my wife alone. Before I could get the words out, however, old boy had decided to charge my wife in a full fighting stance. With nothing else really to do, my wife took a half step back into a stance I'm used to seeing on Saturday mornings as I meander into the basement with a cup of coffee. As the dude draws back a punch, leaning all of his weight into it, my wife spins, and as she comes back around, the Doc Marten she's wearing connects with the side of the guy's face, full tread pattern. Unlike in the movies, he didn't go flying through the air spinning. His trajectory immediately changed to that of a crashing airplane. Fully unconscious, dude turned into one of those circular racks of clothing, almost completely disappearing inside. Finally, another member of staff comes running, saying the police are on their way. It took about 3 minutes for the police to arrive, and as they walked in, the dude was just finding his way out of the tangle of expensive dress clothes I thought would be his tomb. With statements from myself, the 2 staff, and finally cameras, the dude not only found himself with a shattered orbital and a few broken teeth, but he was handcuffed to the gurney as they loaded him into an ambulance. I swear, I can't take her anywhere. But you just looked in charge. This was on a Saturday, spring of 2019, northern Utah. I was out shopping with my family, errands. I realized I forgot diapers, which are located by the registers. I hurried to grab them because we were up next in line. As I was speedwalking past the registers, I stopped for what I intended was a brief moment to find my husband. Wholesale club employees, regardless if in management or in customer service, all wear the same blue vest. I had a bright pink shirt on, no vest in sight. I was just about to take off in his direction, when insert Kevin. "Hey miss, I am talking to you." He proceeded to grab my arm. I was pretty stunned and taken aback. I could not believe his audacity, so I responded, "I'm sorry?" "Yeah, you better be. We need to find item XY and I need you to help me find it now. Also, these lines are ridiculous. Don't you guys have better staffing for the busiest days of the week?" He was practically spitting in my face. I had the utmost pleasure of smiling my best crap-eating grin, removed myself from his grip, looked him directly in his now paling face, and replied, "As you can hopefully see, I don't work here, so I am not going to be of much help. You touch me again and that man over there," gesturing to my 6'3" husband, who at this point had turned around to see what my delay was, "will not be very happy with you." He started stammering, "I'm sorry, I'm just so frustrated and no one wants to help me, and you just looked like you were in charge." I turned to the closest associate and said, "Excuse me, this man needs some help, please and thank you." I felt bad about turning him loose on her, but at this point he had gone from angry bully to a humbled, quieted version of the man I had dealt with prior. Kevin turned to the associate and murmured on his apologies. I smiled the same go F yourself grin and said, "Have a better day." Had he not been so mean and physical, I probably would have tried to help him. But man, I feel bad for people in retail. No touchy. Yeah, seriously, what is it with these people that think it's okay to just grab someone like that? Don't want that diaper. I work in the hospital as a consulting physician, which involves me sitting on lots of different floors, at computers near patient rooms. I usually wear scrubs and am a small female, so I get confused for a nurse pretty frequently. Yesterday, I was sitting in the ICU and several parents popped their heads out to ask me questions about their children. I just responded that I am not their nurse and pointed them in the direction of the nursing station. Finally, one parent popped their head out and tried to hand me a dirty diaper. I assumed to weigh for calculating their urine output, and she was pretty confused that I wasn't thrilled to take it and that I wasn't a nurse. It was then that I decided to go to another floor. Alright guys, that is it for today's episode. Thank you for watching, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, it really helps me out. And also subscribe to the channel for more if you haven't already. So I hope you guys have an awesome day, take care out there and stay safe. And I'll see you all in the next one.